Any wellness place that comes to mind in downtown Kingston? Yes, the refinery.
Oh,
I really
baby.
love a refinery. So I have one of my favorite eyebrow specialists. You've seen her in season 4. If you are a follower, her name is Caroline Molina, and she's from Brazil, and she's just an eyebrow specialist. I haven't seen her in like a month, so she won't be too happy with how I look in this episode. But refinery is really cool. I really love. Again, architecture for me is great.
Yeah.
It's relaxing.
Did you
Best-
do the steam room?
No, I just go for the eyebrow.
You have to do the steam room next time. It's amazing.
I love the ASMR vibe. I love steaming rooms. I can stay there for hours.
Really?
Yeah.
That's impressive. When I first walked in, I thought I was going to pass out and panicked. But once you
everything.
breathe and just relax, it's amazing.
Everything which is Sonahama. I love a prince. I love a prince.
I love steam rooms.
I love a prince
Yeah.
life. That's what I
That's
like.
it.
Prince life, bougie
Pampered.
life.
Yeah, that's it. I just love comfort. I love getting out of my zone, but I really love when to relax. I love to relax like a prince. Well, that's what I always
Get
give
pampered.
you. Yeah, absolutely. You should. I always tell people embrace that self-care side of you. Enjoy of the beauties of life. Those things which like make you feel relaxed. If you want. I know some people just love like their Sunday to be chill and just enjoying like a good bath with a bath bomb, everything like Himalayan salt whatsoever, like do their thing. I love it. I love it when people put those stories. I say, wow, you put a lot of effort in that bath.
Yeah. Speaking of
Yeah.
Bath bombs, there's a business. I love the transition.
Speaking of
Speaking
bathrooms.
of bath bombs,
Yeah.
there's a wonderful business downtown called the Thousand Island Soap Company.
Yeah.
They hand make all of their own bath bombs,
Yep.
soaps. You walk in and it
Mhm.
smells incredible because you just get all the
love
lavender,
places like
the
this.
vanilla,
Yeah.
all the different scents. The bath bombs and the soaps, not only they're handmade, they're natural, and they just like they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. You can get the ones that have like the rose petals in them. So you throw it in the bath, then like your bath is just full of like
What I
Those petals are
appreciate, I
beautiful.
literally just bought some from there for my friend the other day. And you know when you go to Lush and they have like the bath bombs that are dyed and then they leave your bathtub like super purple or pink
Yeah.
or whatever. Thousand Island Soap Company knows what's up because it's all natural. They're just white,
Yeah.
which is like what people want, you know? Like you don't want to come out of the bath like a Smurf or whatever. So,
Mhm.
yeah,
yeah.
definitely appreciate that.
Well, and they do things like they have like lip balms and like skin creams and body butters. They have this one thing. It's called their muscle rub. I recently injured my legs a couple of months ago. I've been doing physio for them, and they've been quite sore. And this muscle rub, I don't know what they're putting in this thing that works so well, but like it takes
I need that.
all
You should
the
try
pain
that.
away. You
Sean.
should like I wouldn't have been able to sleep the last couple of months without it.
Wow.
It's so great. I love it so much. I don't like I said, I don't know what they put in it, but it works. It takes all the pain away.
That's
It feels good.
That's going to be a
You should-
bestseller
that
among
should
our
be- yeah,
audience.
exactly, because you always hurt yourself, right, Sean? Please. You always injure yourself.
The elbows, the neck. No,
The
just
neck,
joking.
right?
Yeah, last month it has been the foot toe and the back. So that's it. Always getting extreme, like
Yeah.
Yeah, no, if you have back
Yeah.
pain, this stuff works. Like I've always dealt with a lot of back pain, and like this stuff, like I don't even feel like I have a back when I put this stuff on.
I love it. So you're like a floating head. I love it.
Basically.
I'm like, I'm floating. I'm like, yeah, this works. I'm like, oh, that's my buddy.
that was me after a massage. Like I went for a massage, actually at the Queen's Arc Center, like a wellness sports center. They do offer like massage, registered massage therapy. They do offer athletics treatment. So if you're a student who loves a lot of sport, there's a lot of in Queen's Arc, really a lot of treatment for that. A bit on had to fork out a few bucks, but yeah,
Worth
it was
it.
worth it.
And
And-
recommendation when it comes to like massage places here, because I don't know places here because I'm new, right? And I just bought a
Right.
massage
Yeah.
gun just to
I would
Yeah.
say that's amazing.
Yeah.
Good for you. Live your life.
Yeah.
Definitely more affordable.
Yes, exactly.
I would say I've only got a massage from the Refinery downtown. That's the only place.
Okay.
They're pretty
Yeah.
good. There's Symphony Spa
Yeah.
and Yoga. They're wonderful, great location, and like lots of different options. I didn't get a massage there, but I got a facial at Chic a couple of weeks ago.
Ooh,
And it was like so relaxing. She like the attention to detail of it was so great.
nice.
Like she did everything that I needed. The atmosphere was great. The vibes.
Did you get
were
a
all
jelly
right.
mask?
There was a part with the jelly mask. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
it was super nice.
That's amazing.
They'd also did the extractions.
Could you
Really
breathe through the jelly mask?
Yeah.
Okay.
You breathe through the.
Well,
I
'cause
love the
just-
questions.
I just
babe.
had an experience. I just
It's
had an
tough.
experience where you feel like there's like a bag on your face. Like it's really, really weird. My friend was just
bag?
telling
It
me she
wasn't
got.
at this spa, I'm sure.
I'm scared. I'm like, nope.
Wait, was this actually a bad dream that I had? I'm just. No, I'm joking. No, anyway.
Might not be a bad dream.
Probably right. She's very descriptive. That one is like so vivid. Yeah, I'm like, yes, fade.
Anywho.
Yes.
Not necessarily like a relaxing spa massage, but like I mentioned before, I had some injuries on my legs and I had to do physiotherapy. I've been going to K-Town Physiotherapy, which is downtown, right by our office. They are so fantastic.
Okay.
If you ever need some kind of physiotherapy, I would highly recommend them.
Perfect. So, and wonderful. Kingston, like from what we just talked till that point about the cities, wonderful activities, beautiful food scene, and melodies to enjoy throughout the nights with so much pubs and clubs around here. But one thing, just before moving, we need a place to stay. Kinda. So, and as we know right now, like, let's be real, the housing is a bit challenging, very challenging, I would say, for students who have limited income. And one thing is we cannot prevent that from happening. And it's very in a situation where we need to hustle a lot to get housing. But what, for you who have been in this city for so long, what are some good hints, advices that you can give to students of how to make that process at least easier for them?
Great question. Housing is a big topic right now. Kingston has one of the smallest vacancy rates, I think. It's like 1% or something. There is, on the bright side, there's a lot of new housing and condos being built downtown. A lot of them will be targeted toward students. So that's great news. I know it's really, really tough. I don't have like an amazing answer. I guess the one thing that I would say to new students coming is look like outside of how do I say it? Like look in the neighborhoods that maybe aren't so like well off. Like for example, there's a lot of gentrification happening in Kingston, so it's like even the less nice neighborhoods are still becoming nice because there's like all of these new younger families that bought like a cheaper house and are making them really nice and beautiful. So it's like lots of gentrification, like the neighborhoods are getting more beautiful and safer and like great places for students to live. There's a lot of basement apartments, like a lot of basement apartments, which is like a great option because they're usually a little bit cheaper. But yeah, kind of just look like outside of the normal spots, if that's helpful at all. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. There's lots of different options out there to look for. It's definitely it's a tough market. We're in a housing crisis right now.
Yeah.
So it's very tough. If I had any advice, just from my own experience finding a home in Kingston when I moved here at first, don't allow any landlords to possibly push you into making a rushed purchase. Where you live is an incredibly important part of your experience in Kingston. Don't in scarcity, it's very easy to feel like there's not options. I have to grab something as soon as possible, which very much can be true. But you also want to make sure that you get a place that works for your needs, it works within your budget, and also that, you know, your landlord, whoever owns the property, if you're renting, is also going to be a good fit for you.
Yeah.
I'm very spoiled right now because I have a fantastic landlord and a great place to live. But before, when I first moved here, that wasn't always the case. And that can be very tough to find. I would always just say trust your gut when it comes to finding a place. If you're looking at a place and something is just telling you that it's not right, don't rush into buying or don't rush into renting.
Yep.
Because if you get stuck somewhere that you don't like, you might not end up living there the whole time, but you might end up paying rent for a full year, which is something kind of what happened to me. I ended up renting a place. It wasn't working out. I was lucky that I could start living with somebody else at the time, but I still had to pay the full rent that I had signed up for.
That really sucks.
Wow.
That's really good
really
advice,
Tough.
though, Sierra.
Yes.
Yeah.
It reminded me, maybe something that would be helpful is school starts in September, like typically. If you could come in like July and sublet, because in the summer, a lot of students go back home and they sublet. So you can get like really cheap like rooms that's furnished, so you don't essentially have to move right away, but it could be that like time that you need to look and find a place and be physically in Kingston and like going and checking the places out and like getting that feel for it, that's like you can actually be there and tell like if you like it or not, if you get that good vibe.
Yeah. And also to just make sure you're educated on the actual laws that exist for renters and for people who are like renting out property. It's very easy for like people who rent property to take advantage of the people who are renting from them. Not to say that that's like a huge problem in Kingston and people like totally do that. I couldn't like say any names, but when you're more educated on the actual laws, it's a lot easier to stop people from possibly taking advantage of you, because you can point to the law, you know your resources, and you know where to go if somebody does try to take advantage of you.
Yeah.
Because it's very easy, especially for someone who possibly is coming to Canada from another country, doesn't totally know all the laws.
Yep.
Like it's very important to be educated on what your rights are as a renter, because it'll just make everything a lot easier for you.
Yeah.
Cool.
Good advice.
So thank you so much again for your input. Like those are wonderful tips to have, especially knowing your laws. Like I think it's very. And now with like for me, what I use as a new tip, as I go to BARD and I go like, hey, pretend you're a real estate expert in Canada, and give me the laws regarding my real estate situation right now. So that's what I use a lot of AI to like, hey, everything. It has become my personal assistant.
ChatGPT, where should I live?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I've stopped ChatGPT. I use it for like copywriting. ChatGPT helps a lot in copywriting,
Yeah, it does.
email drafting,
Yep.
and those stuff. But BARD now is like, it's up to date. It's like 2023 ongoing. So I really like that. ChatGPT is like 2021. So that's why. Well, that's we went a bit off the thing, but I think we should also tell our audience who downtown Kingston. What does downtown Kingston do?
Yep.
Like as well, midway through.
Yeah,
Sierra's a
so
great answer.
we are the Downtown Kingston BIA. So what a BIA is, it stands for Business Improvement Area. And essentially a BIA is a collective of the business and property owners that exist within the boundary that is downtown Kingston. And they are essentially all together under the organization that is the BIA. And they pay a levy. And it is also supported by the municipality that funds the BIA. And the purpose of the BIA is essentially to represent the downtown businesses and property owners, as well as do beautification, economic development, and essentially just supporting and promoting the downtown area as a shoppable, livable place to be. So examples of that are the events we do. So we do the Santa Claus Parade, we do movies in the square, which are essentially made to bring people downtown, as well as we are involved in marketing campaigns that just make downtown seem like a better place to live and work and shop, as well as we do kind of advocacy for certain interests of the downtown, whether that's like going to city council and advocating for certain bylaws or community standards or anything like that. As well as beautification. So like we are part of the beautification that happens like during Christmas time, like putting up new benches, putting up new bike racks for transportation and things like that.
Yeah, that's it. Sierra summed it up so beautifully.
Yeah. It
Wonderful.
can be hard
Yeah.
to describe sometimes because we
Yeah.
do so many different things.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that the BIA is the city of Kingston. We're not the city
We're
of
not the
Kingston.
city of Kingston.
We are. We do get support from the city of Kingston,
Yes.
and we do work with the city of Kingston a lot. But we are a separate organization from the city of Kingston. We are overseen by a board that is made up of our members. So the members are all the businesses and property owners that are in downtown. They're part of our membership, and the board of directors is made up of some of those members who are elected, and they oversee us.
Wonderful. I
Nice.
think.
Yeah,
Good.
I love the website, but I'm a follower of their Instagram page.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to learn more about Kingston, if you're a newcomer, check out their the Instagram
Instagram.
page, Downtown Kingston.
Yeah.
The logo itself is nice, vibrant, well designed.
Thank you. We just did a rebrand like 2 years ago.
Love it. Yeah. And then the snaps and the posts, informative and very entertaining as well. And nicely done.
You get the latest updates also, like
Exactly.
a lot of entertainment
Yep.
happening. The
Yep.
stories as well, like what's happening around the city. So
That's all. Sierra manages our social for the most part, and Najeli does a lot of our real content, who is incredible.
Yes.
So yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
always
You can
a good reel.
also subscribe to the Downtown Dish, which is our monthly newsletter
And blog.
and
Okay.
blog. Yeah.
Yes. We
I
just
love-
started
yeah.
a blog.
Speaking of which, I love the font that you used there.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah,
Love
for sure.
that. I love that you love it.
It's nice to hear people say that
Yeah.
actually get it from like a visitor's
Because we-
perspective.
Yeah.
Because people like us, we appreciate things, especially when you put effort and then it's nicely
Yeah.
executed. Yeah, it deserves
Mhm.
a
Thank you
shout
for
out.
saying that. Thank you.
That was
Thank
a big
you,
shout
voice
out.
in my head.
You're welcome.
Oh, Dan. Well, also we talk about downtown Kingston, but most importantly, you're two SLC alumni.
Yeah.
And tell us a bit about you. How was your experience after college? Because a lot of students watching this are right now students, and they want to know what's the next step after. How was it for you
Nice one, Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
after leaving SLC for you?
I had a really wonderful transition from college to working. My job at the BIA that I have right now, my full-time job, I got through my work placement from my program. So in AMC, which is the program I took, Advertising and Marketing and Communications, you do placement in second and third year. In my third year placement, I did my placement at the BIA. And then after that was over, they offered me a summer job. And then after my summer job was over, they offered me a full-time position. So my transition from college to working was incredibly smooth. I got incredibly lucky. And I'm so grateful to the college because I wouldn't be working where I'm working right now, and I wouldn't be doing all the amazing things I get to do without SLC. It was incredibly formative. I learned so much here, and it gave me that natural next step.
Yeah.
So it was really wonderful. I'm very grateful for my time at this college, for sure.
And for me, I have another follow-up question just from what you mentioned. You mentioned about being lucky, but I don't think it's completely up to that. I think there's a lot of success attributed to how you make the best out of every opportunity you get. And a lot of students go on placement because we have a lot of practical internships coming up. What are your key to success to making an impression or to get the right foot, the smart steps into your internships?
Yeah, I would say make yourself as useful as possible so that they can't let you go when your time is up.
Yep.
Make yourself useful, make yourself available, and say yes to as many opportunities as you can.
Yep.
If they ask you to do something that you don't know how to do or you feel like you can't do, just say that. And say, I'll do my best. I might need help. I might want to work closely together on this, but be open to every opportunity. You might do something that you never thought you would do or enjoy, and you might love it. You know, I wouldn't say my job is 100% what I was dreaming of doing when I came to this college, but I wouldn't change it at all. I love it so much. It's a complete dream job. And I wouldn't know that if I hadn't been completely open to doing everything that they asked me to do and taking all the opportunities that they offered for me.
How about you, Faith? How was it for you? Life after SLC and now being integral to the role of the city, with downtown Kingston.
Well, my story is definitely less like serendipitous, I would say. But in the same way, it still is, I guess, because it's like led me here. So when I graduated, I actually didn't really know what I wanted to do. I knew that I wanted to travel. So I kind of focused on that. And I think I had a bit of like commitment anxiety of taking a full-time job because I knew that I wanted to travel. Like I was just obsessed with it. So that's what I did for a few years. And during that time, I did like freelancing or like worked in the service industry while I traveled. And then I'm trying to like think back because it's been quite a journey. I started a few different businesses, like side hustles. And yeah, this job really is my dream job. Being the marketing manager of downtown Kingston, like literal dream job. I love it. So yeah, that took me quite a while though to get to this point. I've had other management roles at agencies in the past. I always knew that I wanted to be like more on the creative side because I really do love that. So I did, you get it? Yeah. So I did, I had a content marketing business for 3 years before I applied to the BIA, and I saw the job come up and I was like, that is my dream job. I'm applying. And yeah, the stars just kind of aligned. So I'm really happy. Yeah.
That's a wonderful, like I always say, it's not always cookie cutter the way we finish school, and sometimes we don't know what we're doing, and it's perfectly fine. Yeah. And somehow, some way, like what's beautiful about a journey is that it's not set in stone. It's like a beautiful painting, a canvas, which is left to be painted. I always say, oh, you wanted to paint this, but actually, wow, now that looks wonderful. And yours resumes exactly that. So I'm very proud that it's still like, the drawing is what you wanted it to be, but you did it your way. And that's what I always tell students. And after, when you're close to graduating, it's now you being the artist of your life. Like it's in your hands. Don't think that you're under pressure to kind of look for a job. No, feel like a star.
I feel like people do feel that pressure. I feel like St. Lawrence does an amazing job at helping their students find jobs right out of the right out of school. Certainly AMC does that. Shout out to Kathy Patterson because she's amazing. But
AMC faculty.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, like just don't put so much pressure on yourself, and like if you do want to travel, then go do that now. Like, like while you're still young, because you have the rest of your life to have like a 9-to-5 or whatever kind of job you want. But like time will pass you by and you'll get less limber. Like if you say you want to travel when you're retired, like don't wait to do it until you're retired, please. Just do it while you're young, and like everything will work out because it always does. So yeah.
Yeah, because Sean you might break your neck, or what else, right? Yeah.
It recovered.
Yeah.
See, if I was
the
old,
older you get, the more you procrastinate and put that aside.
Yeah.
The brittle your bones get. So do it now. Now.
Maybe I'm blessed with good genetics.
Oh,
so
there you go.
sorry, but speaking of traveling, how do we? That's such a shit transition.
Speaking of like all the nice places and stuff,
we have wonderful chauffeur around Kingston with a Kingston Transit taking us. And I would say, having traveled a lot, it's one of the most convenient form of transport. Really, I really like going around the city with my student bus pass, and it's convenient because for me, my bus transit stop is 1 minute away from my house. I just jump out and it's there. So it's really well designed, even if like some people would say like, oh, it's every 30 minutes, but it's fine. Like just prepare yourself.
How do you get around town?
How do you?
Right.
It's because we are not beginners. That's why we don't feel the need. But putting myself in the shoes of someone who is now coming here.
Right.
Yeah. It can be very overwhelming. I came to Kingston from a very small town that had no public transportation whatsoever. So when I first moved here, I was quite nervous. I was like, how do I get on the bus? How do I show them my bus pass? How do I let them know my stop is coming? When do I get off the bus? What's bus etiquette? Like, I had all those questions when I first got here, and there's some great resources to help answer all those questions. And it's never as complicated as you think it is.
Yeah.
When I first got here, I got used to the bus system very quickly. I started using Google Maps to figure out when all the routes were coming, how to get everywhere, and I travel everywhere on the bus. I use the bus to go get my groceries. I use the bus to go to work, to get everywhere I want to go. It's limiting that, the buses stop at like 11 o'clock. So when you're out on a night on the town, you can't quite use the bus to get home. But the buses in Kingston, we're quite lucky to have such great transportation. I say that as somebody who comes from a town that has absolutely no transportation. We're also lucky to have it. And it's very convenient. It's very clean. It's easy. It's easy to complain about it. But like when you don't have it, you really want it. Like my bus to work is like 15 minutes.
So good.
And I'm very lucky to have that. And also Kingston's a very walkable city as well. So even if you aren't using the public bus, the Kingston Transit, like you can get really anywhere you need to go if you can walk.
Yeah.
In the summertime, in the warmer months, I walk to and from work all the time. So I live right by SLC. So I live right in like the student kind of neighborhood. And it takes like 35-40 minutes to walk downtown. And I remember when I first moved here, I felt like downtown was so far away.
No,
it's not. It's so close.
Yeah.
And if you do the waterfront trail, you get this gorgeous, gorgeous scenery. And you get downtown, like I said, in like 35-40 minutes just by walking.
And I myself, as an international student, right, coming from Singapore, which has one of the best transport systems, and I've tried this transport system here, the buses, loving it.
It's
loving it.
It really is, because when you compare it, like you don't know what you really have until you miss it.
Exactly.
I would say it's like, just like you were saying, like if you go like commuting 15 minutes, you tell that to anyone in Toronto and they will be like, what? How do you commute? Like 15 minutes from your workplace. How do you walk from your workplace? It's so good because for me, walking in Kingston feels very safe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Having lived in LA, like some places you cannot walk. You need to have your car to move around. But the beauty of Kingston is also the safety of compared to big cities, to even many countries. It's really safe.
Yes.
And you see it by students just walking around the city so freely. And that's a very, very big plus for a city to move forward and showing the potential of what it has. It starts with safety.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to say. And Kingston has been voted the best city for students, I think, like just last year. So it's really great.
Yeah, I was about to ask, like, or interject, like, how student-friendly is Kingston? But you already mentioned it, so
We have it's like built for students almost.
Yes.
Like, we have SLC, Queens, RMC. Yeah, there's lots of student life going on.
I find the bus routes are definitely like they're designed very much for the students. Here at SLC, like there's like 6 to 8 options for buses here. I have like 4 bus stops around just my house that are like within like less than 5-minute walks from my place. It's so convenient. And that's something that I learned very quickly coming to Kingston. Like you can just get anywhere. I was so grateful for the buses when I first got here because it was so nice and refreshing to just be able to hop on the bus, get wherever I needed to go. Maybe it takes like 40 minutes to get somewhere that's a little further away, but it's so convenient and nice.
Also, one big factor is the size. The size makes it that the city feels it's a very big in surface area. It's very big, but you don't feel
exactly
even with the transit. I can move to a West End no issues, East End as well. It's very well structured, but also like the fact that it's still small, not as big as Toronto, but very small, makes it very enjoyable. Like I know I can just go from this place to this place very quickly and without having to say, it's going to be 1 hour ride today. So like that's just to move to the other end. So I really like that.
Also something we were talking about, I think we were off camera, we were talking about it, but we were talking about the proximity to Toronto and Montreal, and the bus is actually really, really cheap. Train, not so much, but the bus is really cheap. So Kingston is like so amazingly situated in between like 2 of the best cities in the whole country, Toronto and Montreal. So it's like, if you're a student coming here, you might be from like out of the country, out of town or whatever, and you want to like experience more of Canada, like not just Kingston but Canada, then you can actually do that so easily, I feel like, from Kingston.
since we're talking about like how student friendly it is, what are the agencies or places that take care of students or and the welfare that you can suggest that I might not know, that most students might not know? Yeah, are there any, like, for example, one off the bat, on top of my head, I thought of like keys. If you need
Yeah.
to print out stuff,
Oh yeah.
CVs, resumes, you can go there. You can also visit ISCA. Any other?
One came to my mind, and I think it's mostly for our female audience. Dress for Success is a
Yes.
great foundation founded
Nice.
by my program coordinator with her help, Diana Davis. It's like it dresses you in a professional standard, and sometimes students don't have access to that.
Yeah.
And it's so important to make that first impression when you're going for an interview or even for your just coming to school. You have a presentation. Oh, I don't have any. Dress for Success is an amazing foundation here in Kingston, really Kingston-based, that really help young women professionals in getting that first step. And they are coming up with so much more great projects in empowering women. So it's a really great one to check out. So yeah, that's one that comes to my mind. And also you have, I think with SLC itself, you have a YMCA, which gets you access to the one in Kingston Center, where you get access to the pool, you get a lot of dance classes. And it's really, I had a friend who made a lot of good friends just by going to the common classes there. So that's one of it. And downtown Kingston, do you have any recommendations?
Organizations, not. I think for one, City of Kingston, there are a lot of programs that we might not know about that can be very helpful for students.
Yeah.
When I first moved to Kingston, I was very low income, and I was able to sign up for a low income program the city does that gave me an affordable bus pass. It gave me access to affordable like fitness classes and dental plan and things like that. It was incredibly helpful for me at a time when I didn't really have a lot of money to go to the dentist, to pay for a bus pass all the time. So it was super helpful, and I would definitely recommend anybody who needs it to look into that for sure. I think not necessarily an organization, but in terms of getting clothing, I would totally suggest thrifting. There's lots of great thrift stores downtown. One that comes to mind right now is YGK Thrift and Montreal Street Collective. You can get really incredible pieces from these places that are fashionable, that are comfortable, and that are incredibly affordable. YGK Thrift specifically, they are a not-for-profit, so all the profit that YGK Thrift gets goes to Almost Home, which is a charity organization in Kingston. It's so wonderful to go there all the time. I go there all the time for clothing. I think most of what I'm wearing right now actually is from thrift stores in Kingston.
Wow.
Yeah, I get everything from them. It was so helpful to me as a student going to thrifting stores in downtown because I just got everything I needed there. And just in general, downtown, a lot of stores and a lot of businesses do student discounts. So I would look for those for sure.
Yeah, I
'cause
would
it's
usually
very-
ask if they have. I mean, I'm just that thick.
I think what's the discount for like grocery stores? Isn't
Every
it, like,
Tuesday.
Every
and what's the
Tuesday.
discount? 20%?
So
or
10%.
10%?
Yeah.
That's
They
still
convert
like
it to your points that you
goes a
can
long
use
way.
Yeah.
to pay.
That's
off
awesome.
Definitely hold on to your student card because you show
Scanning
that in a
that,
business because it'll help for sure.
And take the card, the customer loyalty card, the flyers program in some of them are really good. Like always take the habit of scanning your card. I always say you might get some points popping up, and I'm like, now I look at my Optimum, for example, I'm happy with the points I have.
And
Okay,
banks
when-
as well.
yeah.
Banks.
Yeah.
For one,
Banks.
they have promos and special offers for new bank accounts for students.
yeah, that's true.
Like you were saying something earlier, Faith, that Kingston is very well located. And some students just want to know what's a bit around the city, what's out a little bit in the outskirts of Kingston.
What's out there?
So what's out there? Where can we
What's out
go?
there?
Where can we go
Do
on
you
a
mean
trip?
outside, but still like within?
Relatively
Like we're
close, yeah.
talking not okay. If you like to hike, that's one of the things that makes Kingston so incredible. Like if you look at Kingston on the map and you look at how much water is actually around us, like just to the north, there is so many lakes, guys. Like it is literally insane. So if you like to hike, there's Frontenac Park, there's Charleston Lake, there's
Rock Dunder.
Rock Dunder, there's Gould Lake, there's the KMP Trail. Kingston has like 8 kilometers of waterfront, so you can walk that. Yeah, in terms of like what else is, Picton's not too far away.
Not
but
too far.
Good winery.
Perth,
Yes.
Brockville.
Yeah. No.
If you're like me and you love musical theater, you love theater shows, there's the Stratford Theater Festival. Stratford is it's a bit like past Toronto. Like to get there by the train, you have to go to Toronto and then get on another train at Union Station to get to Stratford. But Stratford's a wonderful, beautiful place. Not as beautiful as Kingston.
Oh, Gan and Aquay. Did you ever go to Gan to the Playhouse or whatever
I
to
think
watch?
I did.
They have
That's
really
cool.
good shows, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we would never suggest leaving Kingston. You
No,
find
don't
everything-
leave. No.
So that brings me to my next question. If I want to zone out, if I want to like just to disconnect, where in Kingston can I find do you have like a go-to spot? for
Yeah.
places?
Oh, yeah.
I love, especially in the warmer months, I love Springer Market Square. They set out patio tables there during the warmer months, even in the colder months when the fire pits are there. I love to just like go for my lunch break, take a book, just sit there and kind of like people watch and zone out and listen to the birds and feel the nice breeze, as well as Confederation Park. Just strolling along the water there, going through the paths, sitting by the fountain. It's so relaxing and so nice, and you can kind of just hear like the chatter of the people around you. It's very relaxing.
Yeah. A bit outside of the downtown core, but another great park is Skeleton Park.
Yeah.
They do the Skeleton Park Arts Fest, and I think they just did like a Halloween parade in Skeleton Park, which I didn't even know was a thing. They are great. There's also, is it City Park? Like, what's the park that's where like the Women's Festival and the Arts Festival is like right?
I think it's City Park.
I think so too. Yeah, City Park's another great one. Yeah, Kingston has lots of great parks, and even just Lake Ontario Park, which I'm sure most people listening know about.
Yeah.
But it is honestly stunning. Like they've done such an amazing job with it.
Yeah, definitely if you're an SLC student or if you just live in this general area, like go to Lake Ontario Park. It's beautiful. It's like the best place to be.
Yeah.
It's so relaxing.
Nice.
And another spot, if you like to read, the Kingston Frontenac Public Library. Its central branch is downtown.
Yeah.
I
I
you
love
can
it.
get a library card, and even just it's great for like studying, reading, and they also have lots of different events and workshops. It's a great way to meet new people.
Definitely recommend Kingston Public Library.
Nice.
Definitely love this one. Have my memberships. Worth it. Totally worth it. And what can I say? Just like at Lake Ontario Park, the sun is setting on us. I
Yeah.
feel like because
Yeah.
it's winter months coming, so I guess it's time to give out a bit of an ending. How did you feel about coming back at SLC and giving us so much value to our students who are watching this of maybe what they didn't know about the city, or if they are deciding to come to SLC, like, oh wow, this is a city which reflects my personality, my values, and what I like to do. So thank you so much to Sierra. Thank you so much, Faye, for coming on the podcast. And also to the audience who are watching till the end and enjoying our lovely banter going on and all our places we fondly love about this beautiful city, which was, to my heart, is surprise. Great findings to come. And I would do it all over again to come here. And any last words would you like to say to our audience, Sierra, Faye?
Sure. I will just say that the downtown, we have to plug downtown, of course. The downtown is really what made me fall in love with Kingston when I was still living in my hometown and just visiting. It's the reason I moved to Kingston at all. And I would suggest anybody new to Kingston, new to downtown, or just looking for something to do, you can go to downtown and just walk for a couple hours. You will find like an endless amount of things to do, shops to visit, things to experience, food to try. Like you never run out of things at all. Downtown is really just like, it has everything that is so great about living in this city, for sure.
Yeah, and I'll just add to that and say it's like 4 seasons of the year that there's something going on. Like it doesn't matter what time of year, there's always something. So get your butt downtown. Enjoy everything that downtown Kingston has to offer, especially Festive Friday in Stop and Shop Saturday. You can check out all of our events on our social media, our Instagram, or our website. And yeah, thanks so much for having us. It's been so fun. Yeah.
Thank you.
So
It's
nice
always
to
a
be here.
pleasure.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure to have our lovely guests coming in and feeling comfortable, as I say, like, just having a fun time.
Yep.
Talking about things we love for students of SLC or any college student watching around, and that's what we want to. And you guys have been wonderful
Yep.
for coming on our podcast and giving us absolutely your full lovely energy and
Gold.
sharing about what you
Gold.
really love. Gold. Like, thank you, Voice, for...
Thank you, Voice.
Yeah,
Thank you,
that's
Voice.
why it's called Voice Podcast, because
Yes.
the voice is here.
So true.
We love all the voices, especially the
Yeah.
ones in our heads.
Yeah.
Yes.
And with that, as we're recording on a Friday, like I tell you, enjoy your weekend as a student, as it's going, I know it's going through the money time, as we say it, like finals are coming up. So I wish all of you all the best, because I know you can bring the best out of you. And until then, I see you next week again on the Voice Podcast. Thank you, and thank us by giving us a good thumbs up. I know I have a thing on my thumbs today, but hey, anyways, see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Don't forget about me, Sean.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, Dan. Bye-bye, Voice.
Thank you.